it is very depressing for an artist to feel trapped in and not being able to
Exactly.
practice what they want.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, even with regard to finance, I think it was one of the most insecure years for all freelancers. But having said
Mm-hmm.
that, I think since October, things kind of, took a turn, and yeah, people have the courage to go out there and work again, and to start
Exactly.
making things.
Yeah.
And it has been quite good actually. So
Mm-hmm.
I restarted work sometime mid October, in fact late October I'd say.
Okay.
So I first did an independent film called Masum Sawal. Since October, kind of things have taken a turn,
Yeah.
and people have courage to go out and make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And late October, I have been working again. I started with an independent film called Masum Sawal. I first shot for that. Then I shot for Out of Love season 2,
Okay.
and then I did another film called The Incomplete Man.
Acha.
So yeah. So I mean, work has kind of taken off again, and I think despite the odds, despite the constraints,
Mm-hmm.
um, people are there and trying to do the best they can in the given circumstances.
Yeah. So talking about art and sets, firstly, congratulations for Bombay Begums. I just started watching it, and I must admit, such powerful lines about women. Some are born to rule, some aspire to be queens. I mean, I think it must be a hell of a ride for you as well to be a part of that beautiful, series. So, what were some of the prominent learnings for you?
I mean, speaking of learning, I think every experience is one of learning.
Yeah,
And this particular web series, I would say, was also very inspiring because it was largely a female-dominated
women
crew,
centric. Yeah,
who were helming a women-centric story with
hmm,
a bunch of very powerful, very talented, very skilled, very beautiful. And by beautiful, I don't just mean just with regard to physicality. Such
yeah,
beautiful women were there on the show. I mean, there was Pooja, Shahana, and of course Klavita and Amrita, and I mean so many others. I mean, everyone that you
yes,
saw for that matter has done their best. So it was very inspiring because when you work together, also there was a very beautiful kind of an energy. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make it sound very dramatic by saying that I've not
the vibe of
experienced
the
such energy.
entire, the set
Yeah.
maybe.
I mean, every film has its own energy, has
Yeah,
its own feeling, evokes a whole feeling. But I think with this particular series, we all shared a common feeling, and it was largely about feeling proud of being a woman. Or, there was
yeah,
this there was
celebrating
this
that.
beautiful. Yes, I mean totally. We were all out there to celebrate womanhood, and we also had very good characters. I mean, I can speak for the actors, not just myself. We had very well written, well-rounded, strong, powerful characters,
Mm-hmm.
and also vulnerable and sensitive, and very realistic. I mean, we all have our weaknesses. Even that has kind of been kind of
Yeah.
brought out in the whole series. So it was
Mm-hmm.
a very nice, enriching, and what should I say, comforting. It was comforting to work with
Mm-hmm.
such a amazing set of women. So I really cherished my whole experience of Vegas.
Mm-hmm. So, in your short career, you seem to have tried your hands at a variety of canvases, if I say independent cinema, web series, films, and you have made a prominent mark of yourself in the industry. So, what
Oh,
has
thank
been
you.
your biggest takeaway, in the showbiz and over the years?
I feel extremely fulfilled at the end of it. And also I think
Mm-hmm.
if I look back and I assess the way I have gone about my career, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't make very many traditional choices because, especially for someone, a woman, if she starts a little later than her 20s,
Yeah.
I mean, the go to place is television. And I haven't done television, because television is very much a woman's medium. The stories are all centered
Yeah.
to women. And
Yeah.
there's, of course, a lot of money. I mean, probably what I make in the entire year, I would be making in maybe less than a month if I was doing television. So
Yeah.
I haven't really followed the very conventional path with regard to how I have approached my career.
Mm-hmm.
But I think sometimes when you really want something, it kind of works itself out. I always wanted to
Yeah.
be part of very interesting projects, work with very interesting minds, work with very diverse minds. I don't think I'm an actor who belongs to a particular place. Like I have done hardcore art house cinema, and I've also been part of some commercial projects, and very successfully. Like people remember me for those performances as well.
Yeah.
And I have done international cinema. Like I mean, what do people say was is one of the
Yeah.
examples of that.
Yeah.
And I worked in a few languages. So I
Mm-hmm.
think at the end of it all, what I have really taken away from being here is feeling a sense of fulfillment and also experiencing the joy of being an actor,
Mm-hmm.
which is not confined to being a star and just and money and being well known and
Mm-hmm.
admired. The process of acting and creating is something which is also, I think, been very has been totally worthwhile for me. I mean,
Okay.
in the whole bouquet of work that I have done.
Mm-hmm. So, any fond memories from that part of your career?
You mean the films? I have fond memories from I think every project. It is
Mm-hmm.
um, and every project, as I keep saying, has taught me a lot because for me, it's like every time I do a film and I do it with a different director who has a different mind space,
Mm-hmm.
has a different intellect, has different kind of strengths.
Mm-hmm.
It's like uh, it's like going to a destination almost. So you go
Okay.
to the mountain, you go to the beach, you go to the desert, you go to different places, and you experience a different kind of joy every time. So when you are collaborating with a team, there's all these different actors, it's a different crew, and as I said, the director who's the captain of the ship always has a different mindset or a different way in which they go about,
Yeah.
filmmaking. That is very fulfilling and it is new. There is variety in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when you talk of fond memories, every set, every experience comes with a set of memories. So, I mean, I suppose if I start talking about all of them, we'll be talking till tomorrow morning. But
Okay.
yeah, I have some beautiful memories from
Mm-hmm.
various films that I've done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and especially in some locations, I would say it's always very
Mm-hmm.
um, it can be very humbling. It can be very enriching. It can be very, um, it can be a different kind of exposure altogether. Like, for example, I was in Norway almost for a month to shoot for What If People Say.
Yeah.
And that was a great experience. And then we were shooting, I did a film, we were shooting in Celle. It was a village in Germany. And it was beautiful there, that whole experience of shooting there. Then shooting in Banaras. I shot for Angrezi Mein Kehte in Banaras. Banaras is a land of such unique culture. I mean, such an exotic place. To be fair, it was 2014 that I really started acting. I mean, where I did
Okay.
my first significant project.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So, what are the kind of obstacles you face now while, choosing a script or bagging a new project?
see, obstacles are often self-created and sometimes they are circumstantial.
Okay.
So I think circumstantially, sometimes I have realized that by not being in Bombay, not always, but sometimes it would kind of a little bit, um, determine the possibilities, the possibility of making things happen faster. Like,
Yeah.
a decision could take longer, or sometimes not meeting a director is also has on a couple of occasions been a reason why,
Mm-hmm.
I have not started, despite the fact that they really liked my audition. The director was like, I wish she was here. Then sometimes, there are productions, especially the smaller budget films.
Yeah.
They say, if you call an actor from Calcutta, it is going to definitely cost more and, not
Mm-hmm.
cost effective. You should look for another choice
Mm-hmm.
within the city. So I think that has been an obstacle, but when you're faced with obstacles, it is also your duty to change that about your life. You have to bring the change. So I can't go to Bombay permanently that way. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, I have decided to have a base in Bombay also because my career, my profession is demanding it. I mean, there is a demand for me, and I have to do justice to that. But
Yeah.
yeah, with regard to obstacles, I think somewhere it's in your head. I mean, there could be little things that keep coming up, and you can treat them as obstacles. And at the same time, it's up to you to decide to, kind of overcome those minor problems. Problems are only as large as you make them out to be. I mean, that's
That's
my
true.
learning from life,
Yeah.
basically.
As an outsider, how do you manage to, have consistent work and showbiz? Because,
I think
nepotism
audition.
again plays
I
a
owe
major
my
role in it.
yeah.
So,
I owe my
yeah.
career. casting directors. I mean, if there were no casting directors, I don't think I would have featured in any of the films that I have, because I have auditioned for all. Every single
Oh.
film that I have done till I have auditioned for. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, now I have reached the point where there are people who come and they say, "Yeah, हमें आपको narrate करना है."
Mm-hmm.
But so far, all along, I was giving formal auditions, and I have to thank the casting directors, because they thought of me despite the fact that I was not really in their line of vision. I was not in Bombay. I was not in their
Yeah.
face every day. I was not popping into the offices every day. I was not saying hello every day.
Yeah.
But they kind of remembered me for whatever I was worth. And they gave me that opportunity. Now, to prove myself after having been given that opportunity is my responsibility. Just to give you an example, after Angrezi Mein Kehte Hain was released,
Mm-hmm.
there were a set of people, who were very conventional in the way they thought with regard to Bollywood. And many of them told me that, you've acted as Sanjay Mishra's wife. And Sanjay Mishra is known to do a lot of roles as a senior citizen. So why
Yeah.
did you do this? In a way, you kind of, sabotaged your
Yeah.
possibilities of, doing other roles or getting other work.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised that it just the opposite happened. Like I did Angrezi Mein Kehte Hain. It got released in, I think, May 2018.
Yeah.
And in July 2018, I got a film in which I played a cougar. And that was opposite Sunny City.
So, in your career, what has been the biggest challenge you had come across, and how did you handle yourself mentally at that time?
There's a dormant button in my head somewhere, in my brain somewhere. So
Okay.
whatever challenges, difficulties, or whatever they are, I kind of just press that dormant button, and they just I kind of put them under the carpet, and I try
Okay.
and what should I say, overcome them in the best way that I can. There are things that I can't change. There are things that, see, everything that happens in your life happens because of the choices you make, because of the decisions you take. So my life has played out in a certain way, and I have to take responsibility for it. It was my decision to have a base in Calcutta, and yet, I aspired to get work in Bombay. So I think uh, my intention was very clear,
Mm-hmm.
and the way life just kind of played out, or the way God's hand, God's blessing, whatever I call it, despite a situation that you don't live in the city where your work happens, I
Mm-hmm.
have managed to get to work.
So, Ekavali, how do you deal with your setbacks and failures? At a time where mental health issues like depression and anxiety has been so prevalent due to work pressure. So, what is your
Hmm.
take on
I'm an extremely honest person, so I'll tell you that
it?
there
Mm-hmm.
have been phases. Life has not seemed easy. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And sure, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Each and every one of us, phases in our life, or the graphs of our lives, move in a way where there's
Up
some
and
very
down.
happy, very inspiring
Yeah.
moments, and there are moments when you feel let down by either others or circumstances, or sometimes even you yourself.
Yeah.
The magic is to be in control of that sadness. To overcome it is actually in a way in your own hands, and we all have our own mechanism of doing it. So for me,
Mm-hmm.
I think um, creatively venting out is one of the best ways.
Mm-hmm.
I'll cook and with my kids. I'll learn something new. I'll watch something wonderful. I'll go and see a play. I mean, देखिए, um, दुख ऐसी चीज है या disappointment ऐसी चीज है जिसका असर आप पे हो सकता है.
Huh.
And another thing I think which has really worked for me is that over a period of time, I have kind of developed this quality where I expect very little from others. Like I said, sometimes not getting a role because you are not famous, or like there has been a situation where I was almost signed up for a particular project, and it was a big project, and then I was told by people that I was replaced because there was an ex-heroine, or someone who had been a heroine before, who was very excited about doing a project. They thought that will be better
Come back,
for
sort
the
of thing.
for the project with regard to
Yeah.
branding.
Okay.
I have no business holding it against the production or the director or anybody for that matter. At the same time, to say that I didn't feel bad is not true. But at the same time, I think I have the maturity to understand that I was told the director fought for me as much as he could, and I'm thankful for that. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, so I think it is your own understanding of things and your own ability to adapt and your own ability to move forward, which really
Yeah. True.
hear it all the time. You should be doing bigger roles and stuff like that. I mean, it's nice to hear, but I have just decided that I'm not going to get trapped in that. I'm not going to just indulge in feeling victimized. अरे मैं तो बड़े roles की हकदार हूँ और मुझे मतलब there are hardly there's just a few roles that I have done where I have been centric to the whole film.
Yeah.
It's basically I am playing smaller roles. Yes, maybe part of the primary cast or
Mm-hmm.
maybe doing what they call character roles. But in my head somewhere, I think now this concept of lead and parallel lead and character roles and everything,
I
it's
think
all
that's the
merging.
best
I
because
mean,
it
you
has
bring
all.
something to the table. You bring
Yeah.
something to the table, and that is of value. That's about it.
Yeah. True. And I think in web, especially in web, every role has certain importance. I mean, even if it's a small
Right.
role or a big role, सबका किसी ना किसी
Yeah.
एक बहुत prominent screen presence है.
और हैरत की बात यह है कि कई बहुत छोटे से भी जो रोल्स है ना
हाँ.
उनका इम्पैक्ट इतना जोरदार है. I mean, I can give you my own example. I mean, which is not a web series example, but it's an example from a film. I did a cameo in a film called Veere Di Wedding,
Yeah.
which was a success commercially, and it was full of stars. I mean, there was Sonam, Kareena, there was Swara, Shikha. It was a big film. It was, I mean, Riya Kapoor was producing it, and I had never thought that my role is even going to be acknowledged as such. But it was a very quirky role, and Shashank Ghosh, my director, he's a
Hmm.
very quirky mind, a very interesting mind. He had first made Tiggan Murugan, if you remember. So
Yeah.
he had told me that Ekavali, I want this character Paramita to laugh like a hyena. Now, that's a very difficult brief to give to any actor. I mean, कोई भी बौखला जाएगा कि मैं कैसे करूं to laugh like a hyena. But
Yeah.
whatever his direction was, whatever he told me, and the way I played the role, it just got me so much validation, strangely. I mean, there were so many reviews where critics had written about Paramita's character. And when I read the script, I had never thought that this was a character that would be worthy of going into a review. So
Hmm.
sometimes some very small roles also kind of give you a
Big
dimension
impact.
which you have
Yeah.
never imagined, yes. And especially in a star-studded film.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nice. It was very nice.
So, looking back and now towards the way forward, are you happy how things are shaping up for you in the industry?
Of course, I'm thankful for the way things are shaping up. I think I'm getting opportunities, and I should be very grateful. I have no reason to be, See, I could complain, okay? I mean, that's the easiest thing to do is to just keep complaining. But
Yeah.
I feel thankful. But having said that, I would definitely want to do more work. I would want to be given better opportunities and more opportunities, like every actor.
Yeah.
But to see that what I'm getting is not good enough is not true. I'm very very thankful for the opportunities that are coming my way.
Mm-hmm. So, can we say was acting always your dream job, or are you still looking forward to creating one?
Uh, I think this is all I can do actually at one level. This is what brings me maximum joy.